Kaku Ancient Seal, also another game, another open world game that falls into a trap. There's so many open world game. I mean, I don't know if you call it a trap, but basically they do something that makes many other open world games, including this one, kind of boring. You see, what's interesting about open world game, I can of course name quite a few, but one notably interesting is Elden Ring, is that they have their lows and highs and lots of surprises as you explore the world. And actually the first time we start kind of, it kicked me when it comes to open world and when I play Far Cry and I stopped playing it, is because when there is a common pattern in an open world game that is very similar across the entire map, it becomes boring. It's just like you move and play a game and it doesn't matter where you go, the same game repeats itself in every single place of the map. Like the map is arranged in different locations, yet they can look different in terms of biomes, elevation, but the visual themselves and the map design is not enough. In many cases, it's not enough in order to really make an open world game exciting. I mean, in Elden Ring, the game was designed so well, the map designed so well that you find yourself really like in a maze, getting lost in it. And not just that, it's very rewarding. And when you explore the map, you know there are going to be surprises. The map look maybe something that, regular, but there are different places where you can actually get into certain areas that you might be there exploring and you can't even see it even if it's in front of you or close to you. That's how fascinating it is to explore Elden Ring's map. Alright, instead of talking, let me show you. That's the moment I actually got to pour a weapon in Elden Ring. So there was this ledge where you can actually jump down. I didn't even notice it at all. And by the way, that's the reason why wikis can actually take away from it if you use it to, find and discover hidden things. Because again, once you discover things yourself, it's so much more exciting. That's why the first playthrough I did without looking at anything. And even then, once you discover, you already discovered something. There's hints when the game is designed, that there's something there. And then, it got me to really platforming, some really difficult platforming. And, I'm going to speed it up a bit. Yeah, it's going to be super, super fast. But basically, it was quite a journey, platforming journey, but eventually it was so rewarding because I find an amazing new faith weapon for my character, and I'm actually playing a faith build. Never mind, if you don't play Elden Ring, just a great weapon, and because it rewards you. You can even play the game without finding this at all, and there's so many places to go, but you might miss it all together. Such a huge place, so many things to walk and jump, but you can miss it altogether if you don't really find the initial point to actually get into that place. The place where you actually start exploring. Of course, there are some enemies and stuff, and really so much, but eventually I got to this place, double door, and inside there was this weapon waiting for me. And it felt I felt amazing. Right now, even speaking about that, I get excited. So this exact thing, this is what makes Elden Ring, part of it, makes Elden Ring so exciting. Again, it's an open world game, of course. So that's the moment. I was so hyped when I actually found it. So here there wasn't something like that. But again, let's leave it aside. Okay, this is kind of a beautiful map. But for me exploring it, I didn't find anything really mysterious or... there are some sections, of course, where you can get into it. Some of them you need to break, for example. But nothing really that gives you a sense of, wow, I really discovered something special. The thing is that the pattern repeats, and it's in many games like that. You have enemies spread around the map, you have different camps that allows you to do things. In this case, you can actually craft things. You're going to find them here and there, like in this particular section. Every now and then you're going to find chests. Some of them will be rewarding. There's going to be sometimes a big enemy, sometimes lots of small enemies in between. The different items and resources are kind of spread out. And basically you're going to do the same thing in every single region, every part of the map. It just repeats itself over and over again. So let's say you finish playing the game, you go back tomorrow, you want to log in into LSF, Alright, I need to do this again. Then there are so many games that I played where I actually don't really want to log in into the game the next time I actually wake up, because I remember, well, is it the same? I don't want to do it again. I want something new. There isn't that sense of mystery and excitement that you tell yourself, alright, I don't know what I'm going to find out next. Really, it's so exciting. Let's go and go on an adventure and try to find out what mysteries and treasures are waiting for us. And again, this is the sense of anticipation. And this is something that if you take it away from the player, the game becomes stale. And the interest in the game, playing the game, demolishes very, very quickly. There's also, of course, aspect in many open world games when it comes to randomization. Not every game has it. It doesn't have to be like that. In certain games, it's really not beneficial, like when it comes to Souls game, for example. But in certain games, it can be very beneficial because, again, it gives you a sense of, kind of luck, what I'm gonna get. Maybe I'm gonna get something great, maybe not. Of course, Diablo is all based on that, of course, and really gives players always the sense of excitement, what you're gonna get. So if you don't have this non-predictability thing in the game, it's like, watching a movie that you already watched before, right? It won't be the same as you watch it in the first time. And we all have new things, right? We don't, well, some people can see the same movie thousands of times, but we enjoy going to seeing different places, seeing different movies. We want the excitement of seeing something new. It excites our senses, and it is, again, trying different food, always new. So this is what's supposed to be in the game. It's the same thing. In real life and in the game, we want to see new things. So in Kaku, for example, you can see that when you visit different areas, there are lots of enemies that are the same. And if I was to develop such a game, I would never do something like that. I was already introduce new enemies, especially at the beginning. I don't want to get into the world and seeing the same enemy just with different color. Even Elden Ring, by the way, was criticized about that. Although there are lots of enemies, types, and bosses, it was criticized on that. There are some repetition when it comes to bosses. So this repetition is quite bad in games. Again, it leads to boredom. Now you need to understand, when it comes to open world games, one of the things that makes open world games so exciting is the freedom of choice, or freedom and choice. Basically, you get to carve your own path. You want to follow the main story? Fine, go for it. Want to get lost in side quests or just explore the world? You can do that if you want. That freedom is super appealing to players who like to make their own choices. I still remember the moment I got out in Elden Ring, for example, got out and I saw the world and I saw everything. I know I can go everywhere and so much mystery is waiting for me, especially again in the DLC. It was the same feeling. But again, the sense of discovery is something that developers must perfect in the game in order to make the game exciting. I mean, for example, uncovering a new lore, items, or finding a cool view that you can see things more clearly, and of course discovering new weapons and new armor and all this stuff. It's very exciting for players. And there's also the aspect of emergent gameplay. Open world games can create unique situations that wouldn't happen in a linear game. So imagine encountering a random bandit fight, for example, while riding on your horse, or accidentally causing havoc in a town by starting a fight. These unexpected moments can make the game feel more alive. So that's why in many open world games, if you add something random that can happen or different events, it really adds exciting, because if you come, for example, maybe even at night in a different time of the day, and it happens in many games, in many open world games, you want to discover something new. So this game also suffer from kind of an empty world syndrome. It's a big world, but it doesn't mean it's a fun one to explore. If there's nothing interesting to find or the activities are repetitive, exploring can become a chore. And again, many games, open world games, are criticized, that they feel they have shallow content. I mean, open world games can be stuffed with generic quests and copy-paste locations. Quantity basically doesn't equal quality. Players want to feel rewarded for exploration, not just ticking off boxes on the map. And it can become even worse when the pacing is not good, although in Kaku particularly, the pacing was okay. Actually, when I played Kaku, I wanted to explore the map and, at night, for example, have something new, and there's nothing like that. And there are many developers, what they develop beautiful environments, and then, just take a certain concept and just fill it up with the same thing. It happens with Breath of the Wild, well, so many other open world games. That's why many people find them boring. Many people find them boring, although some other people just ignore it. Or let's say I can tell for myself, I'm very not resilient to these things in open world games. If it's there, I'm probably gonna get bored with it pretty quickly. And again, this is why I felt that in that aspect, Kaku Ancient Seal was actually, well, very similar to many other open world games. And this is why the emotional feedback for the game felt very flat. There wasn't that, wow, what is that? You know, there wasn't these moments, you know, the highs when you get it after just, you know, exploring the map, then, whoa, you know, it wasn't. And I was expecting that, but it didn't happen. Again, I'm not saying the game is bad. There are some bad practices used in this game that basically could have made this game so much better, but because it's lacking, it actually took off quite a lot from the enjoyment of the game. And that's it. That's what I wanted to share. If you have another take on that, let me know in the comment section below. I just wanted to share it out, you know, what I feel about this part of the game, open world design of the game. And that's it. Thanks for watching.